So, at the World Economic Forum in Davos, a really stark warning was issued. And it wasn't about the usual stuff, geopolitics or trade wars. Nope. It was about a force that's about to reshape the global workforce in ways we are just, and I mean just, beginning to wrap our heads around. Okay, let's get into it. I mean, listen to that. A tsunami. That's the powerful, almost apocalyptic language from the head of the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva. She didn't say a ripple, she didn't say a wave, she said a tsunami. And yeah, that really sets an urgent tone for what we're about to unpack here. So, what on earth does the IMF mean by a tsunami? Let's break down the research they actually presented in Davos and see what it really signals for all of us, for workers all around the globe. And look, this is the key thing. This isn't just some hypothetical fear or a wild guess. This warning is based on brand new, hard data from the IMF itself, and it suggests a massive and frankly imminent transformation of the job market is already getting started. Okay, get ready for this number. 60%. According to the IMF, that is the absolutely staggering percentage of jobs in advanced economies, like the US and in Europe, that are expected to be affected, in some way, by artificial intelligence. And you might be thinking, okay, that's just a developed world problem. But nope. The figure for jobs that will be affected globally is a massive 40%. That just shows you the sheer scale of this thing. It's reaching everywhere. But here's the catch. That word, affected, it's tricky. It doesn't mean the same thing for everybody. This AI tsunami, well, it's not going to lift all boats equally. In fact, as we're about to see, it's set to create a really clear divide, a tale of two very, very different outcomes. So, on one hand, you have the good news, enhanced jobs. About 1 in 10 workers might see their roles get a serious upgrade from AI, making them more productive and, hey, boosting their pay. But then you flip the coin, and that's where it gets pretty scary. Elimination. Many of those traditional entry-level jobs, the first rung on the career ladder for young people, they're at an extremely high risk of being wiped out completely. And this quote right here from Georgieva, it just hits the nail on the head. The very tasks that AI is getting good at are the building blocks of those first jobs. This puts the younger generation in a really tough spot, making it harder and harder to even get a foot in the door. And, this isn't just about young people starting out. The ripple effects go way, way further. This threatens to create some pretty deep cracks in our entire economic structure, really widening that gap between the haves and the have-nots. Right, so think about it. What happens to all the people whose jobs aren't getting this AI supercharge? Well, there's a serious risk they'll just fall behind. Without that productivity boost from AI, their pay could just stall or even drop. And that creates this huge divide. As the IMF puts it, the middle class is going to feel the squeeze, no doubt about it. And just so you know, this isn't some fringe idea. The president of the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde, was right there in Davos, saying the exact same thing. She's worried about a global disparity that's getting deeper and bigger. And that's what's so important to understand about this whole Davos conversation. This wasn't just one person with a warning sign. This was a central debate among global leaders from tech, from finance, from labor unions, all of them trying to get a handle on what comes next. From the union side of things, they're not mincing words. Christy Hoffman basically laid it out. For a business, the whole point of AI is to increase productivity to lower costs. And the fastest way to lower costs, you guessed it, cutting jobs. It's a simple, and for a lot of people, a really brutal equation. But what's really fascinating is that you're even hearing warnings from the people building this stuff. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella basically said that if all the benefits of AI just go to a few giant tech companies, the public might just say, no thanks. AI could lose its social permission, as he put it, to even exist. And this is where things get really complex, right? This is the global politics of it all. Christine Lagarde warned that if countries start getting suspicious of each other and don't work together to set the rules, then the very things AI needs to grow, capital and data, could just dry up. Okay, so you've got all these different people, all these competing ideas, huge risks, huge rewards. So what's the big takeaway? After all that, what's the one message that really cut through the noise? So at the end of the day, after all that talk, what's the one thing that truly keeps these leaders up at night when they think about AI? Well, it comes down to one word: speed. The technology is developing and literally reshaping our world at a pace that is so much faster than our ability to build guardrails, to make it safe, and to make sure its benefits are shared by everyone. We're just falling behind. And that really brings us full circle, back to this final, powerful plea from the head of the IMF. It's a direct message to every leader, and really to all of us. Wake up. This isn't a movie. AI is here, it's real, and it is moving faster than we are. So this is the question we're all left with. That tsunami isn't on the horizon anymore, it's already approaching the shore. The leaders in Davos made it crystal clear the transformation is coming. The only question now is, who will be left standing when it hits?